Hello, my name is Karina and this is my perfume map. Today I'm going to talk about 10 affordable perfumes created by popular perfumers. And I have made at least 2 other videos like this, and every once in a while I will get a request to keep going, and I'm happy to do that because I think this is really fun. So when you look up a perfume, the first place I usually go would be Fragrantica, but I'm also using Parfumo, and then sometimes I'll read books about perfumes. Sometimes I will read blogs about perfumes. I've mentioned watching perfume documentaries, and that's where I'm getting this information. I will admit that I don't understand exactly the process in making a perfume. So I know that these perfumers I'm going to mention are credited to these perfumes. Sometimes they're the only perfumer credited, and sometimes there's a group of perfumers credited. And even if it's the only one, I'm not really sure how that works. I mean, are they managing a team that's making it? Are they signing off on it? I don't really know. All I know is that when you look up a new perfume, you usually can find out who the perfumer is, on top of, finding out what the brand is and stuff like that. And a lot of times you can find a similar kind of style running through fragrances all made by the same perfumer. Some people will call it like their DNA or something like that. So let's just talk about some perfumes that are affordable that were made by perfumers who have created much more expensive perfumes. The first one I wanted to show you is one that I bought pretty recently. It came in a lot of fragrances, and this is, I think it's Naked Fantasy. Sometimes I see it as Fantasy Naked, sometimes I see it as Naked Fantasy. This is Britney Spears' Naked Fantasy, and this smells a lot like, there's a lot of fantasy flankers. Some of them smell similar to the original Fantasy, and some of them don't. This one does smell like the original Fantasy. It's just a little less fruity. It's a little more musky, and I think it smells really good. So the perfumer that worked on this is Olivier, I think it's Guillautin, and he worked on 10 different Tom Ford fragrances, including Tobacco Vanille, and he also created Wonderstruck by Taylor Swift, which is like discontinued and now goes for a lot of money online. I see that one show up on Shop Goodwill a lot. I'm always thinking, like, who donated this? Because then it will sell for like $200. I wouldn't pay that. But anyway, the same perfumer created Naked Fantasy. The same perfumer who worked on Tobacco Vanille, which is like $500. And you can buy this for $19.99. The next one I wanted to show you is kind of timely for 2 reasons. So this is Scent from Above by Dolly Parton. And the perfumer who created this one is Gabriella Colariu. And people are talking about Yum Bougie Marshmallow by Kayali a lot right now, and that's the same perfumer. And I've talked about this perfumer before because she creates a lot of things for, like, all of the big hits by Kayali. Vanilla 28, The Wedding Silk Santal. She's one of the perfumers on Eden Juicy Apple. But she does create a lot of fragrances for Bath & Body Works. And she created this one for Dolly Parton. And the other reason why I think this is timely is because Dolly Parton is about to come out with a new one. I like Dolly Parton. I like going to Dollywood. I kind of like this type of country music where the woman singing is sort of defending her relationship. I don't know. I just like those songs. Like, I like those songs by Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton. Like, when you think of the song Jolene, or Loretta Lynn has a lot of songs about how she's going to beat you up if you don't get away from her man. I just enjoy hearing that kind of music. I just think that it's like fun. And I think Dolly Parton has done a lot of things that are good for the area of the United States where she's from. I think she does a lot of nice things for kids. And her theme park is very, very fun and worth visiting. If you ever have thought about going to Dollywood, I would recommend it. Anyway, this scent from above, it really smells a lot like In the Stars by Bath and Body Works to me. It's like In the Stars plus patchouli. So if you like In the Stars and you want to try a little twist, I would pick up Dolly Scent from Above. And I've heard, I haven't seen it myself, but I heard that people are picking these up at Big Lots for like $12. So I might have to check that out. The next one I have is Pear Ellis 360 White. Now, I love Pear Ellis 360. It's one of my very favorite fragrances, and that one is by Sophia Grossman. But this one was created by Laurent Guernec, who has created a lot of fragrances that I like. And there's a lot of cheapies, but he also created Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. I have a dupe of that, but I have smelled the original, and I really like that fragrance. I think Bitter Peach is really good, but that was created by Laurent Guernec, or he's at least one of the perfumers on that project. But he's also created 20 Bond No. 9 fragrances, Paco Rabanne Lady Million, and he was one of the perfumers on the new Platinum by Bath and Body Works. So this is a creamy, spicy, musky fragrance. It's not really anything like Pear Ellis 360. So this has like a paprika note, which makes it smell very fresh. Not dissimilar to how like black pepper makes a fragrance smell fresh. This does sort of remind me, it's along the same lines of Curve Crush that I recently talked about. Like it's just kind of a creamy yet spicy skin scent. It's really nice. I think I still like 360 better, but 360 White. You can get this for about $15 for this 1 ounce bottle. It has been discontinued though, so I don't know how long that will be the case. The next one I want to show you is Electric Fantasy. I have a couple of Britney Spears here. Electric Fantasy by Britney Spears. One place to find a good deal on perfumes that were made by really established perfumers is in the celebrity fragrance world. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit to find out who the perfumer is, though. So this was created by Gil Clavin, and that perfumer also created Blissful Fantasy, as far as I'm aware, but has created pretty popular fragrances by Flur, like Heavy Cream and Lost Cause. Electric Fantasy doesn't smell like fantasy to me at all. This gets compared to Donna Born and Roma. So it's like a really fresh, fruity floral with maybe a little patchouli. There's something a little bit earthy in there, but I like this. It's not particularly strong, but this is a good fragrance, and I think I was able to get this for like $17 brand new. The next one I want to show you is still by JLo. A lot of people, this is their favorite JLo fragrance. This is like a Earl Grey tea, kind of spicy, cozy. It does kind of remind me of Green Tea by Elizabeth Arden, but what I notice is when I smell it on paper, it reminds me of that, but when I smell it in the air, it does smell more Earl Grey-ish. So there's like that citrus kind of, it's like just a darker, it's a citrus black tea rather than a citrus green tea. But anyway, the perfumer here is, I think it's Mikel, is it Mikel Gerard, who created Dolce & Gabbana the 1 EDT and Paco Rabanne 1 Million. And this one, I got this one for $14 at Macy's Backstage. So that's a good one. And the next one I have is Kim Kardashian Gold. I have worn this scent several times this fall, and I really, really like it. I like it more this year than I did the year I bought it. I don't know what it is, but I think I just have really... Oh, this is so good. It's like a woody, sweet patchouli. It's like woody. There's something that smells spicy like cinnamon. There's something very sweet. And then patchouli. And I think that this smells like way more expensive. I can't think of any of the Kim Kardashian scents that I haven't liked. It's kind of like Paris Hilton. I feel like she knows what like a classy lady is supposed to smell like, and that's what she goes for. But anyway, this was created by Natasha Cote Muzinar. I'm probably butchering that. Could be Cote Muzinar, could be totally different. But anyway, that perfumer created 5 different fragrances by Scents of Wood, which are very expensive. She was also a perfumer who worked on Platinum for Bath & Body Works. And then also created a few, or at least one scent for Melanie Martinez called Earthly Abundance. And this Kim Kardashian Gold is about $14, brand new, for the big bottle, 100 mils. And it's really good. If you like spicy, patchouli, woody scents, like if you like Rihanna, Rebelle, even if you like stuff like La Vie Belle, I think you would like Kim Kardashian Gold. I think it's really good. The next one is kind of out there, but I was just looking through my collection to see what I could find. So this is Iced Pear Margarita by Bath & Body Works. And I bought this in a large lot. I like it. This sounds like a summer scent. I'm sure it's part of a summer collection, but pears are in season right now, at least where I am. Like they're showing up in stores. Pears remind me of Christmas. We've given them for Christmas many years. My husband and I have made like gift boxes that we sent out, and there usually was like a box of like 4 fancy pears that we would include. So I think pear is really appropriate for winter. This is a nice pear. I think Bath & Body Works does a good job with pear. I don't know how easy this one is to come by, but it was created by Catherine Selig, who created the Melanie Martinez Crybaby Milk fragrance, which, you know, I think it's like $500 if you try to buy it these days. Melanie Martinez, as far as I can tell, she's kind of top tier celebrity scents as far as being kind of like really cool and artsy. I don't know that much about Melanie Martinez. I think just because I'm kind of older than like her like audience demographic, but what I've seen I've always thought is really cool. She has like an interesting take on like coming of age that's sort of, I don't know, it's like something between like anime and weird dreams and just kind of girl culture. I don't know. Anyway, I think her stuff is cool. I've always wanted to try Crybaby Milk. I haven't even bought a dupe, but I've thought about it. I think Ocha has one and Oil Perfumery has one, which I think they're like kind of one and the same. But anyway, the same perfumer created Iced Pear Margarita for Bath & Body Works. So I think that's kind of interesting. And then the next one I think is, I have 2 perfumes by this perfumer, and I think this is really interesting, okay? Because the first one is Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. I have shown this before, but I thought it was the Ariana Grande Cloud Pink because I just saw it and didn't know what it was because I bought it in a lot. But when I smelled it, I was like, this kind of smells weird. It kind of smells like kind of like Santal 33 and fruit or something. And then I'm like, oh, I know what this is. This is Thank You Next. So Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. And then the same perfumer created this one, Guess Seductive Red. And I'm almost out of this. I'm actually thinking about buying another one. The only reason why I haven't is because like I don't know if I've ever bought another fragrance other than Baccarat Rouge. I went through one bottle and then bought another one. I just have like too many now. But anyway, Guess Seductive Red is really delicious. It's got cherry. What I smell right from the first spray would be like cherry, almond, and black pepper. But as it dries down, there's a lot of florals, like especially like a rosy kind of pink floral fragrance. But anyway, the perfumer is Jerome Epinet, who has created 31 fragrances for Byredo, including Bal de Freak and Gypsy Water, and 5 for Room 1015, including Cherry Punk. So it was a little bit harder to find out who was the perfumer behind this, but I think knowing that this perfumer who created this Guess Seductive Red also did like Cherry Punk, Gypsy Water. They also created, I think, the whole like noise line, which I think is not good, that Noyz. I don't like any of those fragrances, but anyway, this is, the 1 ounce is usually under $15. The 2.5 ounce of this is under $25. And it has a really good perfumer behind it. This is a really good fragrance. I think this fragrance would have been a lot more popular if Cloud by Ariana Grande didn't exist, because it smells similar, even though I think this one is better. And yeah, I mean, you can compare it to fragrances that are over $300 by the same perfumer who is currently like very relevant. And speaking of Cloud, that's my next one. So Cloud by Ariana Grande was created by Clement Gabry, who also made Vanilla Skin by Flur, which is pretty popular, and was another one of the perfumers on Eden Juicy Apple by Kayali. And a lot of people will compare this to Baccarat Rouge 540. I get what they're saying. I just don't really agree. Just because I think I will judge a fragrance more on how it makes me feel when I'm wearing it. And Baccarat Rouge 540 definitely has kind of an upscale, like, this is a super nice restaurant, this is the best hotel, this is the best food, this is the best national park. I don't know what it is, but it's very fancy yet very natural smelling, even though it's completely unnatural. Whereas Cloud smells more like I'm at a theme park, I'm at the ice cream parlor, I'm very youthful, like I'm optimistic. It's just a totally different kind of smell, but it still smells good. I just don't wear it that much. I've had this for a long time, and like that's my dent. So, and it's still, I think it's like $70, so it's not even that cheap, but it's cheaper than Kayali perfumes, and probably cheaper than Vanilla Skin if you compare like milliliters. And the last one is this is kind of a bonus. So I've talked about this perfume before. This is Cafe. Sometimes it just says Cafe by Cafe. Sometimes it says Cafe by Coffin Luxe. It's like $6 free shipping, maybe $8 free shipping now. This smells a lot like the vintage opium fragrances. That's what this gets compared to a lot. I think it smells like a vintage opium bar soap, or like vintage opium soap that you bought at a farmer's market. There's something kind of hippie-ish about it. But the perfumer who made this perfume that's very, very inexpensive is Jean-Jacques Diner. Is it Diner? Jean-Jacques Diner. Anyway, that same perfumer created Must de Cartier, which is considered to be like one of the classics. It's pretty expensive. It's hard to get. And that perfumer also created Cafe, or Cafe by Coffin Luxe, whichever way you want to go. So anyway, these are some cheapies that you can check out, especially if you're interested in like perfumers, or like maybe there's a perfume that you want to buy, but it's really expensive and you're just wondering like if you could get anything, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the same universe. I think it's really fun to look at fragrances this way. I think it's really fun to value shop fragrances, and you know, if you want to, I think you could apply this in all kinds of areas of your life, just trying to find something in the same universe but a lot cheaper, because these are a lot cheaper than the high-end perfumes I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if I have anything, well, if we take out the Ariana Grande fragrances, the rest of them I think are all under $25, so that's pretty good. Anyway, thank you for watching my videos. This is I'm getting really close to my 1-year anniversary of making these videos. I appreciate you watching them, and I appreciate your comments. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Subscribe.